Hello, my name is Christina Myers, and this is my behavioral observation module, which will focus on the paper wasp and their identification behavior of group members returning to the nest. Paper wasps, like many other insects, are known for their eusocial nature. Their behavior is dictated by division of labor and protection of young. The queen is in charge of protecting the nest and maintaining order, while the workers care for the larvae. With this in mind, we're about to take a look at a behavior for analysis. Did you see it? Let's take another look. Right about here. Did you see it that time? I admit it's a little bit hard to see, especially with how small the wasps are. I'm going to show you one more time, and I've inverted the camera and played it backwards so that it's a little bit easier to notice. Look at the wasps that are remaining on the nests, and look at the way that their bodies turn in synchronization. See, you're seeing a left and right turn. So hopefully at this point in the video, it's a very clear distinction between what actions we are paying attention to and what actions are ancillary. So the question then becomes, what are the motivations behind this behavior? As with a lot of questions asked within science, it's one that doesn't have a clear-cut answer. However, in using the 4 levels of analysis proposed by Tinbergen, we can start to generate some hypotheses that may help us to better understand this invertebrate's behavior. We will begin by discussing the how, otherwise referred to as the proximate behaviors. A causative level of analysis prompted me to formulate a hypothesis in which this behavior was mediated by hormones, controlling both the speed and direction of the wasps in flight, as well as the wasp's recognition of the individual approaching the nest. This connection seems to be well supported, as a study published in 2019 by Pandy et al. On honeybees discusses the integral role of JH, or juvenile hormone, on many aspects of behavior of eusocial invertebrates, although further research must be done in order to confirm this. Another proximate hypothesis could originate from one of development, otherwise referred to as ontogeny, and could be as simple as the younger wasps mimicking the behavior and movement pattern of the mature wasps until the behavior is learned. One such study, conducted in 2014 by Signorati et al., documents this exact form of learning taking place in the same species of wasps in relation to the identification of nestmates. This suggests that it could be viable conclusion in context of the invertebrate's behavior. In consideration of the 2 explanations concerning the how of the behavior, we will now turn our attention to the why, otherwise known as ultimate. The first hypothesis generated in this subcategory is one made on the grounds of an evolutionary basis, that individuals have been naturally selected for those who were in general more defensive of the nest, or whom operated more easily in a group defensive setting. This is another conclusion that is supported by outside research, as referenced in the 2005 study conducted by Hunt and Amdam. The study looked at the potential evolutionary precursors to eusociality in various paper wasps in an attempt to determine its historical motivations. The study in general found that group cooperation favored fitness, fertility, and overall allowed the species to thrive. This is a good segue into our 4th and final hypothesis, which approaches the behavior utilizing a functional analysis. Perhaps nest with individuals who helped to coordinate landings resulted in a more successful feeding of young and increased overall survival to reproduce. Although I could not find studies that looked directly at this behavior, a study in 2016 by researchers Field and Leadbitter looked at several species of paper wasps and determined them to be capable of altruistic behaviors that were before thought to be characteristic only of vertebrates. This points to the possibility of the hypothesis being supported. So while there is still no clear contender in the case of this invertebrate's behavior, it does speak clearly to the concepts of both altruism and eusociality as discussed throughout our course and within cogbooks. The social dynamic of this species and their division of labor perfectly highlights these subjects, how they increase fitness of this species at the unfortunate cost of the individual.